give us a little intro,
Okay.
before you started.
Well, I'm Sonia and I'm with Aflac. I started with Aflac about 8 months ago, give or take. And the reason why I became an Aflac rep was first I had seen the commercials, and I had left my job of 23 years and saw one of the commercials, and I thought, you know what, if I had had that back when we had just had our fourth child. She was 2 weeks old. My husband was in a horrible car accident. He was rear-ended by a guy doing 40 miles an hour coming off an off-ramp. And it pushed him in and underneath a truck, and the seat back of his car broke and hit the windshield, went back, he had a pickaxe in the back of the car and hit that, and ended up suffering minor brain damage. And the setback from that, because I wasn't working in my job, you were done working at 4 months pregnancy, and so I was collecting unemployment, about $800 and some a month, and that set us back years. And even though the insurance company pays out, you wait and wait and wait, lawsuit, wait. Anyway, that set us back. We almost lost our home. Anyway, so then I thought, it's like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And how can I not help people not suffer what we did? On top of that, a lot of my friends have contracted or had cancer, or were getting cancer, dying, in remission, whatnot. So I was a flight attendant for 23 years. So a lot of flight attendants now have cancer. It is amazing. And a lot of them in remission, some of them didn't make it. So now I help them with that. Anyway, one of the things that I'm going to share with you is a little background about Aflac, and then I'll share a story with you. Aflac's been around for over 50 years. They started with cancer. One of the family members went through cancer. They saw the havoc that it wreaked on the family, and just the financial devastation. And so they said, hey, we need to find a way to help people. And so they came up with Aflac. Now, does anybody know when the duck came in to the picture? Aflac. Anybody?
96.
Huh?
96.
96? 2000. Super Bowl. Were you going to say that?
He was.
Okay, so it was Super Bowl 2000 that the duck was introduced. And now we're up there with the recognition, huh? What? When did the duck get fired? Last year. I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. So he's much better now. But we have a new duck. Anyway, so now we're recognition up there with Coca-Cola and all those people. So one of the things that I love about Aflac, one, it's the policies are portable. You take them with you. They're yours. And so if you join in with a company, you get that group rate, you leave the company, you go on to a different company, you keep that group rate, it's your policies. We haven't changed what's the word I'm looking for? A policy in 20-some years. We don't raise rates. The rates that you're locked into are yours. The only time that they ever change is if you change them. So anyway, I'm going to tell you a story, and some of you may find this kind of interesting since you're hockey. So, excuse my board. This story is about one of our policyholders. He's given us his story, and he was just impressed with the way that Aflac assisted him, and Mandan can testify. So his name is, we're going to call him Bob. Excuse the drawing. And Bob, I'm not used to this. Bob, at the time of his accident, was, we'll call him 45. He had a wife and 3 kids. And, you know, here in the Northwest, we're all really busy doing all kinds of things. His sport was hockey. And one day, he is at a tournament, and he ends up taking a hard check to the boards and suffers a compound fracture to the tibia. Now, years ago, you used to put gin traction. Now they put screws and plates and everything else in you. And that put him in the hospital for 5 days. And his doctor said, good news, you get a 3-month vacation.
No pay.
But no pay, right? So Bob still has all the normal bills and expenses that everybody has. He's got his home, but cell, car, insurance. Anything else?
Food. Does he want
Oh,
food?
food? No, the kids don't need to eat. So,
Credit cards.
credit. Okay, on top of those, pardon? Yep. Yeah, I looked at my cable bill and went, what am I been paying? Now, he's got his deductible. He's got copay. He's got, pardon? I can't hear. I went deaf. Anyway, so on top of all his normal bills, he's got all the added ones from the insurance. So in a time when his income has gone down, his bills have gone up. Now, the good thing is, Bob had really good insurance, worked for the Department of Corrections, okay? So we'll say he had Aetna. And now Aetna pays some of his bills, about 80% maybe. But does Aetna pay any of these?
I don't think so.
Really? I've never seen a check from Aetna. So that's where Aflac comes in. Aflac puts money in Bob's hands. And how we do that is we have set prices for each item. So it doesn't matter how much your insurance pays, how much they don't pay, you're still going to receive the same dollar amount. Now here's, sorry. This is an example of what, pardon?
Let me pass them out for you.
Oh, that's okay. Here's an example of what Bob was paid. He had 3 separate policies. On his accident policy, the minute he goes to the doctor, he walks in, regardless of the outcome of the appointment, he received $120. So that means that if you have an accident, one of your kids falls down, splits open a lip, you go to the doctor, regardless of the outcome, if they glue it, butterfly, it's $120 that you are paid. So here, they paid $100 for the ambulance, they paid a hospital of $1,000, and then each day he was in the hospital, it paid $250 for each day. Now, there's the crutches, the x-rays, follow-ups, and then he also had the hospital plan. The hospital plan also has the initial 24-hour hospital of $1,000, the 5-day stay, $500, and each of those. Now you'll notice that they overlap. So you'll find that the hospital will pay out and the accident pays out. Now we don't coordinate with your insurance company. We don't coordinate with ourselves. So you have the two separate policies, you're gonna get paid out on both policies. And then he also had the disability. Now, one of the fascinating things that I found was 53% of Americans cannot survive a $500 car ding. So if they have to have their car fixed, that's a huge hit to their family finances. Insurance, about $1,500. That's a hard thing for a family today to eat. So, so the disability, that's based on 60% of your gross income. So he was paid out for 3 months, $2,000 a month. In total, Bob was paid out $12,205. Now, I don't know about you. I don't have that money sitting in my savings account, excuse me, for that stuff. If I've got that money sitting around, I don't know, I'd probably buy a car. So that's just me. Or go on vacation or something like that. That's why I save my money, is for the play stuff. It's not for this type of items. Anyway, so, and I'm going really fast. So that's just an example of some of the things that Aflac pays for. And one of the nice things is, under our cancer policy, children are covered free up to age 26. Now, if a child has cancer, it pays double initial diagnosis. And the reason why it pays double is because Aflac knows that a parent is not going to want to be at work, they're going to want to be with their child. And so Aflac not only pays double for that, they also cover transportation, they cover hotel if you need to go somewhere to get medical attention for your cancer. They also cover, I want to say exploratory, and it's not. All the new things that are coming out, most insurance companies will not cover anything new. And Aflac has a set price on those things. And one of the things that is amazing to me is I had a client whose son ended up with brain cancer, had a tumor, and I had talked to her, and he had a shunt in his brain, and she said that they had a problem with the shunt, and she had to go back in, or he had to go back in for surgery. She didn't claim it because she said she really wasn't quite sure whether or not or how it would be covered. I'm on the phone with corporate office, and they said, you know what, have her submit it, we'll find something close to it to pay her. So it's not that they don't try to not pay you, they try to pay you. And that's one of the things that just impressed me with Aflac, is when they work hard to pay you. One of the other things, you have a wellness benefit, $65 a year. Under the accident policy, it's per policy. So if you have a family policy, it's $65 for one wellness. And the wellness covers a dental, it covers vision and medical. And one of the things that I found is if you're at the end of your year, you haven't used your wellness benefit, but you had a claim, Aflac will just throw in the $65 without even you putting in for it. So that's pretty impressive. Anyway, so this is an example, it's just an example of one of the companies and the policy prices. Now we broke everything down per week because we wanted to show people how inexpensive they are. I mean, one gal, I said, shoot, you can go to McDonald's and pay over $9 just driving through. She ended up during lunch, went through McDonald's, paid $9.27 for her meal. She came back and she goes, you're not gonna believe this. I couldn't believe that it was $9 and some change. So, and again, these prices, it depends on the industry. These are all engineers, so.
Thank you for the wellness reminder, by the way.
Yes, please use your wellness benefits.
She went to the doctor yesterday.
Yep. And the cancer policy, it also has a wellness benefit, but they want you to go get your mammograms and everything else. So you're encouraged, please go get checked out.
What does that mean? They just cut you a check? If you go and get a checkup and you're good?
Actually, the great thing is, all you have to do, you log online and you fill out a wellness thing, and you don't even, all you have to do is show the date that you went to the doctor, what doctor you went to, and if you've got everything filled out online, the next day, if you did it before noon, the next day it will be deposited in your account. So we have the one-day pay. The only time you're not going to see a one-day pay is probably on cancer, because there's so much paperwork that goes with it. But initial diagnosis is generally paid out the next day. Everything after that is, it takes a little more time to get. But shoot, I wouldn't mind going to, you tweak your back, you go to the chiropractor charges you $45, $55 for a visit. You put in your information before noon. The next day, you've got $120 in your account because it's a visit. So if you go to the chiropractor, $120. So anyway, you'll see that everything is, nothing is really age banded anymore. They took away the age banding, which is really nice. So a lot of the policies are pretty basic. For a two-parent family, you're looking at a premium of $11.34 for an accident policy, and that's a week. So I had an engineer who he had to do his spreadsheets, and he's looking at his vision, and he's going, okay, let's see, I've got 4 kids with glasses, and he's doing all the math and everything, and he found out he was going to make money having vision under Aflac and with his insurance company. So, and a lot of people say, well, my insurance, I've got great insurance, it covers that. Fabulous. That's where we work twice as good, because then you've got money in your pocket. One gal, she's a VA. She goes to the VA, and she still gets her check because we don't coordinate. And so to me, it's like, you can't beat that. That's, we said, shoot, take the money, go do the baby's room. So, and we've one policy that we kind of came up with just as kind of a fun thing was the duckling policy, the baby duckling, and it's for people who are ready for the family planning. And so with the hospital policy and the short-term disability, with those two policies, it really helps buffer the expenses. And you could do with the money whatever you want. Generally, insurance companies or hospitals, doctors, they're going to take a payment plan. Your home, your mortgage, your bills, they're not going to take a payment plan. They want what they want when they want it. So that's just kind of, in short, how Aflac works. And I'm trying to think. Any questions? Yes.
If somebody's going to get on the cancer policy, do they have to have a physical first?
No.
To prove they don't have cancer?
Nope. The only thing with the cancer policy, if you've been diagnosed with cancer, if you're in a group setting, there's a whole lot of benefits to group settings. That's why we deal with a lot of companies. You can be up to 75 to get a policy, a cancer policy. If you have had cancer, there's a 5-year waiting period where you're in remission. After that, it pays out just as if it was a brand new policy. Short-term disability, if you're out for a month under one claim, you go back to work, you're back to work for a month, hurt yourself, you're back out of work under a different claim, it starts over. So you can't use it up. And so that's another huge positive. You just can't use up the policies. So under the cancer policy, it also has for melanoma. So
So the disability, is that on this payment at all?
no, it's not. No, because the disability, there's so many different variables to it. Right, it depends on how much money you make gross. It depends on your exemption periods. So do you want to wait 0 days to collect, or do you want to wait a month to collect?
So if I get to
Right, exactly. So, and the nice thing about this disability is it lasts for up to 2 years. So that's pretty good for a short-term disability program. So, because then if you do have through work, long-term disability, but not short-term disability, and that'll put you right into your long-term. Under a workman's comp, it doesn't work that way, but if you're hurt on the job, it's an accident on the job, then you'll get your accident payout. It doesn't matter if it's on the job or not. It's still covered under the accident program. So, anyway. Portable.
So if you take it with you, does the original group have to continue to exist? So that group could dissolve, and
Yep.
you could still have that policy
Exactly.
forever.
Right. And the one nice thing for the employer, is a lot of the policies are pre-tax. And so the only ones that we don't pre-tax, we can, but it's not beneficial to the employer and it's not beneficial to the employee, is the disability and life insurance. Because you'd rather pay taxes before than after, right? So the taxes are a lot less. And yeah, the only thing, like now that everything's online, you can get online, hook up your bank account, and do automatic pay. So if you leave the company, then or the company dissolves, then they're all still intact.
Is the pricing more competitive when you do it as a group then?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
much more. Like you would pay under the accident, increase it by about 30-40%. That's huge.
So does it change then? If you leave that company, does your pricing change?
Nope.
Or stays the same?
Stays the same. You take it with you, it stays the same. So yeah, it's a nice benefit. So get hooked up in a company that has Aflac and then leave the company.
And if your company doesn't have it,
Then you contact me.
it doesn't cost them anything.
No,
They
it
get
doesn't.
on the benefits.
Right. Doesn't cost the company anything. As a matter of fact, the company is going to save money because it's pre-taxed.
That they
So.
less employee or taxes.
Right.
Because they.
hmm And one of the things is they've done studies, and right now with this economy, I was shocked. Washington State, 86% of employers offer health benefits. We're number one. Washington State is number one, which is pretty impressive. And now companies that are starting, from the recession, they're coming out. They had to give up offering health benefits because the benefits have gotten stupid crazy. Aflac is one of them that they bring in. Microsoft offers Aflac. I actually got online, went to Craigslist, looked at all the job openings, and all of the benefits listed, boom, 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 boom. Because the more benefits you offer, you're talking retention. People would rather be paid $50 less a month and have benefits than have the $50 more in their pocket. So, any questions? This is an overview of the products that we have. We actually have over 13 policies, but I just kind of highlighted the two that are my favorite, or the three, which is the cancer, the accident, and the disability.
I have a question.
Yep.
So this is all, it's paid monthly?
If it's through the company, well, generally through the company is going to pay it monthly. They'll take out per paycheck, and so if you're paid weekly, it's taken out weekly. But Aflac bills the company monthly.
So on these prices on the right, where it says total, is
Uh-huh.
that a weekly payment?
Those are weekly.
Okay.
So,
And the other thing is, can a person, there's no certain, they can sign up anytime, and they can also quit anytime?
no.
No, they can't?
No. The only ones that can be canceled if the employee is still with you is the after tax. Anything pre-tax by law has to be done once a year. So just like your normal insurance, any changes you make once a year.
So you're stuck with it through the year?
Yes.
So that's basically like the
Blessed with it through the year.
Yeah. There you go. Right, Mandan? So yeah, that's one of the things that a lot of people have been, I've been kind of struggling with some companies is people call and they want to cancel their policies and you're going, well, are you still with the company? Yes, it's pre-tax. If it's pre-tax, you can't cancel it, you're locked in.
But you're doing it for yourself,
Anytime you want, yeah. We've had people that, one gal, she said, well, we're starting the family plan. And so we put the policy in place. I said, let's put the policy in place for you. If you end up getting pregnant before the policy goes into effect, cancel. So one of the other things with, just as a side note, everybody remembers 9/11. One of the fire department, one of the fire departments was in the middle of enrollment during 9/11. And Aflac honored all those policies at the cost of being fined because the policies had not gone into effect because they were in the middle of enrollment. And Aflac honored every single policy.
Insurance commissioner?
Yep.
Yeah. You can't pick and choose what you want to pay.
Right.
Yep. And they hadn't gone into effect. You have to wait. So, that's the kind of company Aflac is. So, okay. Yeah, you got the duck. Okay, so as a last, does anybody remember what percentage of, now I can't remember. I go, wait a second. Does anybody remember what I was going to ask?
What's the percentage you pay on the disability? 60%.
There you go, that is. But let's see, what was I going to ask? The percentage of households in the U.S. that would have problems paying.
53.
He said, you already got one. Here you go. Ah. Okay. But I do have gifts for everybody. And these are really good pens. Okay.